We'll go next to Wisconsin at number 19, Alabama. This game's 12 o'clock Eastern time on ABC. Alabama is a 20.5-point favorite there in Bryant-Denny. The second time that Alabama has hosted a Big Ten school in Bryant-Denny. The last time was back in 2010 when Alabama beat Penn State 24-3. I was a little surprised by that, but I remembered that Alabama played a lot of games in Birmingham there for a while. Their biggest games were in Birmingham in Legion Field, not in Bryant-Denny, so it's rare for this to go down. They'll do it again this weekend against the Badgers. Wisconsin is a big opportunity for them to kind of acknowledge where they're at with the retooled, rooted toughness, defensive identity after a disappointing 5-7 last year. Alabama right now sitting at 1-1. National championships are always the standard, of course, for Alabama. So to start the season 1-2, you can't have it happen. They have to come out, and they have to come out swinging against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's coaching staff, Luke Fickell is the head coach. His identity is all about toughness, discipline, defensive dominance. The record at Wisconsin, however, has been somewhat disappointing. Just 15-13. That includes the 2-0 start this year. And this will be a very, very challenging matchup for them because there is a bit of a talent deficit. Now, you can expect Wisconsin to be pretty aggressive on fourth downs in plus territory. I wouldn't be surprised if they went to a couple trick plays, utilize a couple unconventional formations, try to steal a possession. None of that would surprise me because Wisconsin's defense so far has been very good this year. They've allowed a total of 10 points in the first two games. This is the first time since 2019 that the Badgers have held each of their first two opponents to 10 or fewer points. That 2019 season was the last time Wisconsin made it to the Big Ten title game. On the other side, it's Alabama's Kalen DeBoer, who's an offensive innovator, a mastermind when it comes to schemes. His staff is terrific in creating opportunities through the air. They've responded beautifully from week 1 to week 2 after the disappointment that was against Florida State. Let's see whether or not they can keep that train a-rolling. The quarterback spot for Wisconsin is a little bit up in the air right now. Now, Billy Edwards went down with a knee sprain in the season opener. The keys of the offense were handed to Danny O'Neal. He's a San Diego State transfer. He's not really like your typical backup. This is a guy that's played a lot of football. He's thrown for over 2,100 yards in his career. He threw for 12 touchdowns as a true freshman for the Aztecs. 403 yards and 4 touchdowns, but also has 2 interceptions. So he does have a little bit of a threat with his legs, too. He's shown the ability to kind of escape the pocket and create some positive yardage on scrambles. But we'll be watching that quarterback spot closely. Billy Edwards was handpicked by this staff to transfer from Maryland to be the architect of this offensive scheme. We'll see if he can go. If he can go, that's a huge plus, but they do have a capable backup that does have experience in Danny O'Neal, so make sure you watch the depth chart closely to see whether or not their quarterback situation shows up before game time there at 12 o'clock Eastern time. For Alabama, it's Ty Simpson. Through 2 games, the stat line's been very nice. 480 yards, 5 touchdowns, most impressively, 0 picks. I think this will be very, very interesting to see where things go with Ty Simpson because I think he's just getting started. I've seen a lot of really nice things from him. He's been accurate, he's been poised, and if you look at the game against Florida State, I thought he had one of the better performances for the entire Alabama team. Now, the stat line didn't blow you away in that game. The efficiency didn't blow you away. But under the circumstances, with the pressure he was feeling, I think he played admirably in that performance. You got to check the injury report in this game, kind of across the board. I already referenced Billy Edwards at quarterback. You also need to check out the status of Jake Renfro for Wisconsin. He's their center. More on him in just a minute. And then Alabama, their wide receiver, Ryan Williams, was in concussion protocol last week, did not play in the game against Louisiana Monroe. But if he's back, that's a huge boost to the passing attack to create explosive plays. Question 1, can Wisconsin's pass rush get home? Now, Wisconsin's schedule has been pretty soft these first couple weeks, but the defense has 8 sacks in 2 contests. And if you look at Alabama's offensive line against Florida State in particular, they had some challenges, especially on the edges against a quality pass rush. That didn't materialize last week, but Wisconsin will be a huge step up in competition from what the Tide's offensive line saw last week. So can Wisconsin apply pressure? Can that pass rush get home? That's question 1. Question 2, can the improved performance of Alabama's defensive line carry over? One guy in particular that I think you need to watch is James Smith. He's number 23. They have a bunch of guys up front that are all rock solid, but number 23 might very well become a difference maker as the season progresses. Man, he was firing off the ball. He was gap penetrating last week. He, at defensive tackle, provides a legitimate threat of taking over the game if he is unaccounted for or if he's in a one-on-one pass rush situation. As far as Wisconsin's offensive line is concerned, 2 games against lesser competition, I don't think it's been great. The protection has been a little bit suspect from time to time. It's been a little bit up and down. Haven't seen a remarkable amount of push in the run game. They average under 4 yards per carry against Miami, Ohio. And I already referenced the loss of veteran center Jake Renfro could be a catastrophic blow. Now, he's been dealing with a lingering knee injury. They have a couple of guys there behind him. Kerry Kadonko is the guy that played mostly last week. That's an area that could be attacked if Jake Renfro is unable to go. His presence provides stability, provides experience, and in the middle of the offensive line, I cannot tell you how important having a high-quality center can be, especially in this matchup. Question number 3, how effective can Alabama's run game be? You look at the offensive line with left tackle Caden Proctor, center Parker Brailsford. They struggled against Florida State's athleticism. That was a group that I think moved around and caused some problems for sure. But they rebounded really nicely against the ULM, and they appear as if they're trending in the right direction. Now, this rushing attack has been pretty effective, but it's been kind of a running back by committee approach. Jam Miller, likely still unavailable here in this game. He's supposed to be the starting running back, but the 1-2 punch of Kevin Riley and Richard Young, I think, can fill that void admirably. They'll face a Wisconsin defense that has been really good against the run so far. Wisconsin's allowing just 33.5 rushing yards per game right now and just 1.3 yards per carry, albeit lesser competition, but they haven't dropped off at all. They've been tremendous. Go to question 4. What will be Wisconsin's answers for Jeremy Bernard and company? Because Jeremy Bernard has become fantastic here in the last couple games. He emerged against Florida State, has 213 receiving yards and a couple touchdowns. If they can find some matchups for him against safeties, if they can find some isolations with him against wide receiver, against corners, if they can hide him in the formation, he's a great football player, so he's not just your prototypical wide receiver. He can be moved around. Jeremy Bernard is a guy that you absolutely need to keep an eye on if you are the Wisconsin Badgers. And remember, if Ryan Williams can go, that adds just another dimension of what this passing attack can be. And then question 5, can Wisconsin win on critical down and distance? The Badgers offense has been remarkably efficient so far with some of their third down attempts to converting 48%. Defensively, they've been really, really good. Opponents are converting just 21.7% of the time. So third down has been a really important down for them so far this year. And if Wisconsin can continue on with that play, should be in a pretty good spot. The betting trend is that Alabama is 23-8-1 against the spread as a home favorite since 2020. I like Alabama, but I would not be surprised if this is a bit of a dogfight there in the first half before Alabama starts to get a little bit more comfortable as the game goes along. I like Wisconsin. I think they're a proud program. I think they'll play hard. I just think Alabama has a little bit too much juice and a little bit more talent at important spots in this matchup.